You need
music theory. You need it. You want it.
What are you looking at? Yeah, you. What are you looking at? I know why you guys are here. Because you want to hear me discuss music theory, right? You want to know this guy's opinion on whether or not I think music theory is necessary. Obviously, you know the answer. I have a whole series of theory on my channel. Music Theory Mondays. I also have the Facebook group, Music Theory Mondays, by the way. Join both. So, let's just get one thing out of the way. Okay? Music theory is the rhyme and reason as to why something sounds good. All right? You don't need music theory to play an instrument. You can just pick it up, start playing. Right? So what's the deal? What's the deal with music theory? I find that if you truly want to be great at music and you truly want to understand everything there is regarding music, you need to learn music theory. It's the science of music. It's the why, how, and when of music. Anybody can go from point A to point B without directions, right? You can just leave your GPS at home and find your own way from A to B. And that's fine. But you're probably going to take a lot of wrong turns. You're probably going to waste a lot of valuable time. Wouldn't it just be easier to just learn what there is to learn, what's been discovered, right, regarding music and sound? So I vote yes on learning music theory. Because without it, you're limited. Absolutely limited. The interesting thing about playing music without any music theory knowledge is that you can still make stuff sound good, right? Take the guitar, for example. The guitar is a beautiful instrument, not only sonically, but also the way it's set up. It's all patterns and shapes, right, on that fretboard. Whether you're playing a scale shape, an arpeggio shape, a scale pattern, whatever it is you're doing, you can find easily recognizable, easily memorizable ways to create things that sound good on an instrument like the guitar. You know, I find that when you know music theory, you're able to look at a musical situation, whether it's a chord progression or an entire song, and you're able to break it down into the smallest chunks, the smallest, easily understood, easily digestible chunks. And you can make sense of it in a way where you could, again, boil it down to its most basic elements and then communicate that to others. And I think that that's the way to go. If you don't want to learn music theory because you think it's difficult or boring, well, that's on you. All right? But music theory is everything to music. If you don't know theory, how do you know what key you're in? How do you know what chords are in that key? How do you know what modulation is? How do you know how you could modulate from where you are? How would you know parallel and relative keys? How would you know the significance of the 5 chord in relation to the 1 chord? How would you know how to resolve anything musically if you don't understand the theory? And like I said prior, the guitar is a beautiful instrument. You can find patterns and you can see what sounds good. And there's a lot more that sounds good than doesn't sound good. But like I said, to truly beat the hell out of music, metaphorically speaking, figuratively speaking, to truly get everything you possibly can out of it, you really have to just learn the frickin' rules. It's that simple, you know? And once you get those rules in your head and you've internalized them to the point where you don't have to think about what you're thinking about, you just know, right? You're not going to think about having a thought about thinking about theory. You have internalized it to the point where you're just playing a song, you're just improvising, right? And you just know where to go intrinsically, right? You just know where to go. And you're able to make really informed and highly logical choices and decisions as you're playing through your improvisations or compositions. So, music theory is king. And I'm just going to end this little mini rant here by saying there's 2 places you can be when it comes to knowledge. You can be looking at it from space, where you can see it all on the head of a pin. Looking down, you see everything. You see what music looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like. You know why these parts work together and why other stuff wouldn't work. You know exactly why you chose what you chose. Or you can be stuck in the Grand Canyon, just buried and surrounded by the deep gully with no rhyme or reason to what's going on. I'd prefer to see it from space and see it on the head of a pin, right? When I first got into music, it felt like this nebulous cloud of crap that I couldn't decipher. After many years of study and practice and teaching of the theory, teaching is the greatest teacher of whatever you're doing. So the fact that I've been teaching theory has not only gotten me to a place where I've internalized it on a whole nother level, but it's allowed me to prove to myself that I know it. Because I know it so well that I've packaged it for you, right? We're not discovering this together. I know my okay? I know my shit, okay? So, learn your theory. Check out my course. It's free. It's ongoing. I'll probably be doing it indefinitely. As of today, we have 18 episodes. It's called Music Theory Mondays. There's a playlist on my channel. I add a new episode every week, and I'm really trying to go strategically and methodically through the different aspects of music. First, you start with the intervals. The intervals are the smallest bit of musical information, right? You have a note, and you have another note, and how do they relate? And those relationships have meaning, both melodically and harmonically. And from there, we break into the major scale, the minor scale, break down the chords within those scales, the intervals of those scales, how they sound, the qualities. Then after that, we break into some chords. We do some triads, major, minor. I break into some major sevens, minor sevens, dominant sevens. Then we move our way to parallel keys, relative keys, modulation, harmonic analysis. And I'm going to be analyzing everything from pop songs, which are boring, to progressive metal. I'm going to do some Dream Theater eventually. I'm going to do some Pat Metheny group. I'm going to do some jazz standards, right? And I am going to love every second of getting this information out there, and I hope it resonates with people. learn your music theory, people. Learn what you can, internalize it. Even if you just have the major scale memorized and nothing else, that's way better than having no information. And again, while it's possible to write interesting stuff without it, it's way easier and way more fruitful to write things when you have the music theory background. I think we're out of time. So, guys, I want to hear what you think. Are you for music theory? Are you against it? Let me know. Peace.